Hello there, greetings to you. Thank you for joining in to this introduction of anatomy and physiology course. This is kind of part two of the introduction, but uh, it is kind of the detailed introduction. The other one was an introduction to the general introduction to the overall course, what you expect to learn in the course. So now we are going into the independent units or chapters or lessons in the course. This is the detailed introduction, introducing to you particular terms used in anatomy, which we are calling a topic that we are referring to as basic anatomical terminology. Presenter to you, I'm still Jim Bieber Fortunate. To start with the objectives of today's class, we expect to from this topic we expect to learn uh, expect to fulfill these objectives. Someone by the end of this topic and after the individual revisions should be able to describe the anatomical position. What is an anatomical position? Define and describe the anatomical position. The other objective will be to identify particular names, regional names in the body, and mention them or list them, those particular regional names, and they are important as to why we are interested in these terms that we use in referring to particular regions of the human body. Particular body planes, by the end of this topic, someone should be able to define a body plane and then mention and or describe particular body planes, particular planes that we use in studying the human body. Then at the end of this topic, someone should be uh, able to define what a body section is, and then the particular types of body sections that we may find. The other objective will be the directional terms by the end of this course, of these topics. Someone should be able to define what a directional term is, give that general definition, and then they mention and or describe the different directional terms that we are going to interface in this topic. To see by the end of this topic, someone is also expected to gain knowledge about the body areas, what are those body areas, to mention them, to describe them, and then to define what a body area is. By the end of this topic, you are also expected to define uh, the term body cavity. So we should be looking at body cavities, looking at the different types of body cavities based on the human body, and then describing those cavities. The other objective would be looking at the visceral membranes, or you may also call them the abdominopelvic membranes. What are those? Someone should be able to define them at the end of this topic. And then mention the visceral membranes that we have in the human body. The last objective will be looking at the abdominopelvic regions of the human body. Abdominal, you realize we have two terms. Here we have the abdominal and then the pelvic. So something relating to the abdomen and then something relating to the pelvic region of the human body. Shall be explaining that in a little more detail. So this topic will be arranged into a series of parts where we shall be looking at three major parts, and this is part one of those three. Part one, like a subtopic of this media topic, we are going to be discussing about anatomical position. What is anatomical position? Looking at particular regional names. What is a regional name? And then what are those different names that we use when we are referring to particular regions of the human body? This part will also discuss about body plans, what are body plans, and finally body sections. So to start off with anatomical position. An anatomical position is that a standardized method of observing or imaging the body so as to allow for precise and consistent results or references. We expect the medical personnel to refer to particular body regions, body areas, particular to locate particular body organs, but using uh, common terms amongst themselves, terms that they will only them that they will understand, but those terms will cut across amongst this cult of individuals, which we refer to as the medical personnel. So, in studying those different terms, we have a particular positioning of the body that we should first fulfill, because we shall not, someone will not study the particular body part from the back side of the body and then the other one studies from the front side, and then you expect the same kinds of explanations or descriptions. They will be different because they have used different approaches towards the same goal, but different approaches, so the descriptions will always differ. And that is why we have to understand what an anatomical position is and how we set the body into that position. We call anatomical position. So realize it is defined as the standardized way or method which we set the body so that we observe it or image it, and in the end we come up with precise and consistent references amongst this group of individuals. So the references will always be similar amongst these individuals because we have set the body into the same position. So the anatomical position, the body, uh, in positioning the body, we set the subject, the human individual, will stand erect or what we call straight. So someone will stand straight. Then you face the observer, and the upper extremities, which we call the limbs, someone will place them at the sides like this while standing straight, and then you these your upper extremities or arms like this, and the palms should be facing forward as you are doing this. Then the palms should be facing forward and to the observer, so the palms should be looking forward like this, and then the feet should be flat on the floor. So that is the anatomical position. Basically, we have an erect being, arms wide, but the palms facing in front, then the feet straight on the floor. So that is the anatomical position that we are talking about. It is the position that is used by medical personnel. If at all we are intending to describe a particular location, particular region of the body, and uh, reference to some outcome or description that we intend for. So that is the anatomical position. There, I have our palms facing the observer, then standing straight. We have the feet on the floor, then we're facing the observer. So this is the anatomical position. Uh, Looking at now the terminology, particular terms, uh, the two major terms relating to the anatomical position when you're standing to the human body. We have the prone positioning and then the supine positioning. The prone positioning is that is when the body is positioned with the face facing down, so someone is facing down. So in other words, the back side is up front. So we are viewing the body from the back side. So the face is facing downwards, and that is called the prone position. And then the other term is the supine position, where the face is facing upwards. So someone is lying the face upwards. So we are viewing, in that sense, we are viewing the body from its front side. So those are the two major terms that we use when we are referring to the anatomical position, trying to recline the body to uh, particular for particular descriptions that are intended. So those are the two major terms relating to positioning, and then yeah, that is the anatomical position they are being depicted. So this is the supine position where the face is facing upwards to the observers here. Going on to the regional names. What are regional names? As you see this term, we have a major English term there, which we are seeing, which is region. Region. So region is a particular location, something. So these are names given to a specific location in the body, calling them specific regions of the body when we are referring to something. So these names are multiple, there are many. And if you are referring to the skull region of the body, then the term to use is the cranial term. So if you're referring, if you want to describe the eyes, then in terms of the regional description, then you should use the term cranial. If you are referring to the chest region, then it is a thoracic term to use there. So the thoracic term is a descriptive, anatomical descriptive term trying to refer to the chest region. So the branchial term, that anatomical term is trying to refer to the arm region, something I'm referring to, but based on the arm. So the branchial located in the arms, so that is the branchial region of the body. The patellar region of the body, that is the knee region. So when you're referring to something in the knee region, then the anatomical description are you expected to use the patellar term. Then the cephalic term, that regional name is referring to the head region of the body, so anything located in or towards the head region, then you are likely to describe it with that regional name, which is cephalic. And the buttocks region, that is the gluteal region in its anatomical sense. So those are the regional names. These names are given to specific body areas or body locations, so that we refer to those locations in the same way. So that is something about the regional names of body. Now looking at the body planes. What are body planes? These ones are basically imaginary surfaces, but they should be flat in someone's imagination. So someone's imagination should have flat surfaces in their mind, and these surfaces are used to divide the body or organs into definite areas that are defining something, but it is imaginary in someone's mind. So these are the body planes, imaginary flat surfaces that we use to describe particular body organs to their definitive locations. We have the mid-sagittal term. That one is trying to describe the medial uh, plane. So the mid-sagittal is the longitudinal imaginary line that someone can have in their mind. So the longitudinal line, for example, if you are trying to divide the body into two parts, you use that mid-sagittal imaginary plane. So that is the medial plane. And then the parasagittal, the frontal, which is also known as the coronal, the transverse, which is also known as section or horizontal, and then the oblique. What are these terms? The parasagittal is something away from the mid. So here we had the mid sagittal or the medial plane, which is the vertical plane in the middle of the organism. Going either to the left or the right of the organism, we end up using the term parasagittal. So towards away from the center, away from the midline, okay, away from the midline, going uh, towards the left or the right, we use the term parasagittal plane if we are imagining something away from the midline. And then oblique, that is descriptive descriptive term referring to body planes at an angle. So body plane being described at an angle to something, that is an oblique plane. And then body sections. What are body sections? These ones are flat surfaces. The other ones were imaginary. The planes were imaginary flat surfaces. And then the sections are not imaginary, they are real. These ones are obtained in real life. The sections are obtained in real life. For example, during surgery, trying to collect maybe a particular sample of the body organ, which we call a biopsy. So we want to cut something from that organ or that tissue. Okay, so we should produce a particular, we should obtain a particular section from that organ. We may not take the whole organ, obtain a particular section from that organ. So these ones, the body sections, are obtained from real life. For example, from surgical procedures. So these ones are real life products. Sections are flat surfaces resulting from cuts through body structure. So we cut a particular body structure. And we base on the body planes that we have described earlier on, the mid-sagittal, parasagittal, etc, etc. So we base on those planes to describe or to make particular body sections out of particular body structures. So we can obtain a mid-sagittal section, so an organ, but cut through its middle, and then we obtain two sections, one half and then the other half. So that was the mid. So we can obtain a cross section, which is an horizontal cutting. So we cut the body organ in its horizontal uh, area. So we cut it horizontally and obtain the upper part and the lower part. We can obtain an oblique section, so we cut the body, particular body organ at an angle, so that is an oblique section. We can also obtain mid-sagittal. So these ones are named according to the plane on which the cut has been made. So these are the depictions of planes and sections. So these ones here are planes, the sagittal plane, or you may call it the mid-sagittal plane because it is same in the middle of this organism. So this imaginary vertical line cutting across, that is the sagittal plane. Then this imaginary horizontal line, that is the transverse plane of the body. And then the overall, the imaginary line like a screen, Okay, whole body. That one is the frontal plane or the coronal plane. Do not confuse it with sagittal. Sagittal is cutting into half, but the frontal is cutting into half, but at a particular location, which is this. Then mid sagittal is through this. Okay, so that is the frontal plane body. Then we have other planes here. This is still the frontal here, and these are sectional planes or horizontal planes, and then this is the mid sagittal plane and the sagittal plane. That is still the sagittal plane. Mm, and then that is still the cross-sectional plane at the horizontal part. Then this is the frontal plane. Those are the depictions of body planes. And these are the sections here that can be made. This horizontal cutting here is cross section, so horizontal section of body structure end up in this one. So this is a cross section and horizontal cutting, and that is at the end of part one of this series and introduction. Be blessed wherever you are, and tune in for part two of this introduction.